I'm
Wait,
here.
are you
What?
are you seriously
What?
doing an
No, I'm
British
not.
accent?
No, no. I've just been used to doing it, man. It's that grind. Welcome to the pre-game show, the final week 3 game. We have the game of the week here, the primetime game, the Broncos versus the Patriots. I'm here with Nathan, in for
Yep.
Lucas today because Lucas is dealing with other things today. So Nathan is in here today. So today we got a good matchup between the Broncos and the Patriots. Both teams are tied at 1-1. So yeah, we'll start with the visiting Broncos. The Broncos had a good game last week. It went into overtime against the Ravens. It was a high-scoring game. The Broncos went head-to-head against the best team in the league and almost won, should have won. I'm still pretty sad about it, but it's time to forget about that and bounce back. So, this is a pretty good game. We have the former Patriot Fenix and Dak back here in New England. Fenix played 2 seasons here and had an MVP season and played his best defense in the league last year here. So, this is a big game for him. I know it means a lot for him to win here. Dak was drafted here last year, played with Fenix. So yeah. But yeah, I guess let's talk about the Broncos. What did they got to do to win today, Nathan?
Um, I think everything just kind of relies on Mop this week. He's been pretty good. He's only thrown a pick in the past 2 games, and one wasn't even against the Ravens, who are currently 3-0. So that just means it seems like he's just been improving.
Yeah,
Uh,
Mop didn't get sacked at all last game.
yeah, no
Hello,
picks, no
Fozzie.
sacks. He
Hello.
almost played. He basically played a perfect QB game last week. So I just think if he just keeps that up, especially if the Patriots aren't gonna have Bubby, which I guess has been rumored. I don't know if it's completely confirmed, but it seems like Nathan will come in. So I don't know. I just think it really relies on Mop, and he's been doing good. He seems like he's having an MVP season so far. So I think he's just gotta stay good.
Mop's only thrown one
And
interception this season, and I don't know the stats, but I think he might be the only quarterback with one interception thrown this season. Maybe Grizzlies tied with him, but
Grizz,
like
yeah.
it's crazy because Grizz was the best quarterback last year, the MVP, and then you see Mop, who was quarterback last season, had through at least 2. He averaged a pick every game. Now he's improved. It just showed. But a lot of credit goes to Fenix, in my opinion. Mop Stevens said it. Fenix is open. He's always the first receiver open on this team. He's the best receiver in the league, in my opinion, and on this team. Hold on, I gotta mute this. Gotta mute. All right. Sorry about that. All right, but anyway, Fenix is just the best receiver on the team and probably the league. He's been doing really good. So I just expect from them to have a big day today. He had a really good game against the Bucks. He had a pretty good game last week, and I expect that to be the same against the Patriots secondary. I expect Nathan to be lined up with him. I think that's a good matchup for him. So yeah.
Hmm.
Then I also expect Dak to step up a little bit this week. Week 1 he was quiet. Week 2 he had 2 touchdowns, so he's been improving, and he's the wide receiver 2 on this team. He's always out on the first drive. He's the starting receiver on this team. Just I don't blame Mop for going to Fenix though. Fenix is again always the first receiver open. It's not that Dakrit's not open. It's just Mop always goes for Fenix for a reason. Now I want to talk
Hmm.
about this Broncos defense. They're not bad, but they have been averaging the most points in the league on their they've been letting up the most points, but they played the Ravens last week, one of the best offenses, and then they played the Bucks, which it's a rivalry, it's going to be high scoring. So hopefully we expect a big step up with this defense with Fenix and Mop and Freddie. Freddie has been getting some sacks and interceptions. Mop has an interception this year, but Fenix still hasn't gotten that first pick yet. So hopefully we see that
Hmm.
tonight. He's
Hmm.
that one who led
Especially,
the league with interceptions, but hasn't had one yet on this team.
yeah, especially after getting that Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know, it seems like he's just kind of not really, I don't know, he's not really washed, but he definitely isn't at the level of play he was.
What I've noticed, season 1 and 2, he was the best quarterback. Season 2, or 3, he was the best defensive player. Now he's going to be, season 4, it looks like he's the best receiver. So he's just doing something new every season, it seems like.
Hmm.
All right, and
Oh my
then let
God,
me
Lemon.
teleport that crit. All right, now let's talk about the Patriots. The Patriots had a win last week against the Dolphins. looked really good in the first half, and then the quarterback changed, and then with Fish putting in, Fish was starting to dot him up. They looked to be coming back. Then the Nathan won the game on defense for them. So,
Mm-hmm.
what do the Patriots got to do to improve the win streak tonight?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough. I don't know. I don't know if they do win, especially if they don't have Bubby. I mean, Bubby seems like I don't know, he was the second best QB last season, but seems like he's not really living up to the standards this season. Like, especially with Mop, is those two seems like they're 1 and 2 in QBs, and I don't really know. It's gonna be hard to tell what's gonna happen with that QB situation tonight if Bubby's not showing. I
Yeah,
don't know
so
if
it's
Nathan will
rumored
do better or
Nathan
worse.
will be starting if Bubby can't make it, but Bubby, ever since that Super Bowl loss, he's just kind of like not been the same we've seen through the first two games. He's still good. I mean, he can make shots still. It's just like he's not as consistent moving on the ball. But what I wanted to mention is the Patriots made a trade last night for his old teammate Jay Zinn, who they were with the
Hmm.
Chargers, and that was his favorite target. Always open. Jay Zinn's a good receiver, probably their best on the team now. That was a big step up, and he's gonna help out in this defense. So I think Bubby with Jay Zinn will look like a better player because he's Jay Zinn made. Let's be honest, and Jay Zinn needs
Hmm.
Bubby, but it just didn't work out in San Francisco for Jay Zinn. But I just think that will help Bubby a little bit. But I
Yeah,
just yeah.
especially the Patriots, they did need that MLB. It seemed like that was really the biggest need for them. Like they got that MLB situation because it was either Tar or it was either Fire, and Fire was laggy and he didn't really do good. And Tar, he did good week 3, but it didn't. I don't think he got a single sack on Fish. Like once Sean left, he didn't really do much. So I don't really know what's going on there. But now they got MLB Yeet, and he's probably the second best after Grizz, if not the best. Because I don't know, week 2 Grizz wasn't really doing anything, not a sack or a pick.
Yeah, before Jay Zinn got here, I'd say their best defender was Nathan, because he was
Hmm.
Bubby's been letting up a lot of yards after the catch, and he hasn't been that lockdown corner that he was last season. So now with Jay Zinn applying some pressure, I think that will help out Bubby a bit, because the quarterback won't be holding the ball that long and stuff. But again, Mop didn't get sacked by the best middle linebacker last week, so maybe it just won't affect anything for the Patriots. Maybe I don't think it's gonna help him much for this game at least, but who knows?
Hmm.
All right, the
Yeah, I
next
don't know. I think it's gonna be an interesting game.
let's talk about who the MVP for both teams will be.
Okay. Um, I think the MVP, since Fitz is notorious for giving multiple people game ball, I think it's gonna be Fenix and Mop. But I don't know. Hopefully, Mop doesn't do anything that really ruins his game. But yeah, I think it'll be Fenix and Mop for MVP for this week, and then on the Patriots, it'll probably be Nathan. He'll be QB. It seems like, and he.
I think for me, I'm gonna go for Broncos. I think it's gonna be Phoenix or I want to say Mop, but I think Mop's gonna be throwing the ball a little bit more around today. I think Dakrit will look better. He's been looking better every week, so I'm gonna go Dakrit maybe with Phoenix. Obviously, I think Phoenix will have a good game either way, but I'm just gonna go Dakrit for a dark horse player. And then
Mhm.
for the Patriots, I'm gonna have to just say it's Jay Zinn for today for them. I think he'll be something on the defense for them and be their best receiver today.
Mhm.
And then now,
Mm.
finally, score prediction.
All right. Score prediction. I got 47-40. Broncos. I think it's gonna be a pretty close game. I think the coin toss is really gonna decide who wins the game.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be that much defense from what I've seen from my team and their team. So, but my team has averaged. They've been. I don't know. It's just I feel like the defense is even here. And then for
Mhm.
me, I don't. Whenever it's my game, I don't like to say that because I feel like I'm gonna be jinxing myself if I say me or not me. So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
say I think it'll be a close game, and it's not gonna be like the other shitty games we saw this week with the 49ers, Dolphins. those were blowouts, not fun. But this is the reason why it's a primetime game. It's Fenix's return. It'll be big. It's like when Goob returned here. Goob shit the bag, but Fenix doesn't shit the bag. He's better than Goob. So yeah, I think it'll be close. I think it'll be in the 40s range, maybe 50s. It could maybe go into an overtime game again. Who knows? All the Broncos games have been close this year, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game. I think the coin toss will really decide it all, and probably the coaches too. I think it's really going to be left up to the coin toss and the coaches' decisions this game. I think most of the players are going to do pretty good to average, but I think it's going to be what the coaches decide to put up on the field.
All right, well, see you guys shortly for kickoff. Oh, I forgot about